It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right? We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today we got to talk about it, man. We have to talk about it. We're checking out a video from Valuetainment. Those guys over there, man, they do great work. The link to the video will be in the description box below. Like, share, subscribe, and without further ado, let's go.
And there's a new one that came out with Pew as well. So here we go. Former President Donald Trump has maintained his lead over Vice President Kamala Harris and his support for RFK. The latest Rasmussen poll has a two-way matchup. 49% of voters vote for Trump, 44% Harris, 4% to RFK. These findings are nearly unchanged from a week ago, which was second survey since President Joe Biden. Rob, what are those polls today? What are the numbers saying? Tom, what are you seeing on the market with the polls?
So there's a couple things that are going on today. And the first thing is that the Kamala bounce is subsiding, and it's really only 1 to 2 points nationally. But the media is pushing this AstroTurf campaign very hard, and there's a number of pollsters that are lining up as AstroTurf salesmen. Take a look here. This is the number of polls per week that were released. So why is it that on August 18th, August 11th, why are the number of polls going down, the number of polls released? It's because of this. When the polling data fits the media narrative, the polls get released. When the polling data doesn't fit the media narrative, the pollsters are holding back. And right now, the pollsters are holding back because the Kamala bounce is subsiding and it's settling in at 1 to 2 point on the national level. But remember, national level is like time of possession in a football game. That's not where the scoreboard is. The scoreboard is the Electoral College because the states are the touchdowns and field goals. That's how this is going to be settled. And right now, there are three truths. Number one, Kamala's had a bounce. It's legitimate and there's enthusiasm over there, but it's not as bad as it looks. Truth number two, the pollsters are becoming media outlets. And truth number three, the Trump campaign has been kind of flat-footed on a more optimal response. All those three things are true.
So what's your point?
What we see here is that right now, on a national basis, this has tightened up, but it's not Kamala 5. It's not Kamala 6. It's not Kamala 8. Those polls are BS. And by the way, Quinnipiac is completely out of their mind. They regurgitated and re-released a poll. Remember, those are the guys that said the day before, they ran the last two polls in the last election, and they had Georgia 8, Georgia 10 for Biden, and it was razor thin, and it took maybe some midnight madness to actually go the other way. But they were Georgia 8, Georgia 10. It says Pew hasn't even been doing presidential polling like this, and suddenly they're running to the microphone. It is an AstroTurf campaign by the pollsters, but the truth is this is narrowed up, and a group that is moving. There is a group moving, and it's those independent women that you can't, to Kellyanne Conway's point, if you're going to criticize and be personal with Kamala Harris, you're going to lose these women. But right now, the polling, I'm waiting for stuff to come back up that is more balanced. Oh, I read.
Tom, what's your point, dude?
I went into the, oh,
here?
You're trying so hard, you little bitch. You know, it's like, it's like,
Tom, you're the smartest guy in the room. You're rambling on and on and on about that it's a tight race.
Maybe it sounds like rambling to
Tom,
you.
no shit. Give us what's your point?
Open the textbooks, baby. So you have right now two things that are very, 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 very true.
Has a nerd ever called you like a little bitch in your life? Anybody else? It's just so.
But I imagine it's something you're used to.
My God.
So.
Okay.
Basically, it's not as bad as it looks, but the Trump campaign needs to pick it up a little bit, and the pollsters are acting like media outlets, and there's a lot of BS that's happening out in these polls.
I actually agree with that. And the fact that now that we're finding out that the people that are running these polls, I would assume that they're handpicking the people that they actually poll. Answer me this in the comment section. Who has received a phone call, a text message, an email to be a part of one of these polls? Because I don't know anybody that's been requested to sit down and be polled via text message, phone call, or email. Now, I've been polled one time, and it happened, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. But I am the only person that I know that's ever, participated in one of these polls. And even then, I thought it was the craziest thing ever. I was so shocked. I called one of my friends and I told him, I was like, bro, I just did a daggone poll. And he was like, what do you mean? And I explained to him, he was like, bro, I've never been reached out to. So I'd like to know, who are they actually polling and why are they holding back the information from these polls? I'd like to know that.
Great, Tom, you killed it, man. Great job. You just broke down the entire race and saying, hey, it's a close race. Great job. Sick one.
Did you want to say something?
No, it just, I mean,
the analysis was that spot on for you.
Hey guys, breaking news. It's a tight race.
All right,
and here's some stats to show it. Great.
Yeah, race may be tight, but I don't think it is as tight as the mainstream media and these pollsters are letting off. I just don't think it is. When you go out and you speak to the people, when you see these, I mean, obviously we've done a few reactions to, man on the street interviews, and eventually I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do a few myself because I want to see for myself what the people are thinking. So I'm going to go down to Annapolis. I'm going to go down to Baltimore. I'm not sure if I'm going to go down to DC. It's not that far away, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because if you guys know anything about DC, the traffic sucks, parking sucks, and they got all types of rules and regulations about what you can and can't do. It could be a nightmare to go down there and try to do that, but we'll see. What I will say is this. I would be very, very surprised to find out or to know, or I guess not surprised, but I'd be intrigued to know who they're actually polling, what cities, what towns, what counties, what states. I'm very, very intrigued about that. And I'd also like to know, why are the polls siding with mainstream media and not just releasing the data? I'd like to know that, because when a Don Lemon goes out there and speaks to the people, majority of the folks said Trump. When a James Klug goes out there and he's in California and he's kind of 50-50 out in California. And, when the brother that was down there in Asheville and the other brother that was down there in Atlanta, when young Nick Shirley, he was down there, and it seemed like it was kind of split down the middle, 50-50. So the race, we know it's definitely going to be tight. But it's not a situation to where, Kamala got in a race and all of a sudden she just took off and now she's 4, 5, 6, 8 points up on Trump. It's just hard to believe. And what we do know is that the country is split down the middle, Republican, Democrat, and there's a small amount of people that are independents and libertarians. So the last few presidential races have been decided by less than 100,000 votes, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I know you guys will. But let me know what you guys think about this, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me to team the channel. It gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. God bless each person that has joined the ARP family thus far. I do not take it for granted. I really, really don't. And I want to give a couple quick shout outs real fast to those that have joined the ARP family. Shout out to Nev the Disruptor, Eddie Sylvain, and Irene Austin, 3 of the newest members of the ARP family. Thank you. God bless you guys. I promise you, I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you guys supporting me in the channel. I'd also like to, give a shout out to, I believe it's Jacques Pezel and Rhonda McCarroll and Carlette Strecken. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the names properly. Thank you guys for joining the ARP family as well, man. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.